We are live. Here
We
we are.
are live.
Yeah.
So here we are, another beautiful Saturday afternoon, or should we say morning? Because it really depends on where you are and where you're
That's
tuning
right.
in from. But what we are excited about is that we're all in the room together. And we're going to have another amazing podcast on today. Woo! When we talk about triumph, Tanya, do we say this every week? But I promise it gets better and better. Or we could use the bonics on here because this our podcast. It gets gooder and gooder, right?
Yes.
Every single week, and so I am so excited to have our beautiful guests on today. And I'm telling you, you want to like and you want to share right now because you are going to be tuned in every second, every minute.
Yes, absolutely going to be blessed. Now, I want to let you know who is in the room in case you are basically living under a rock and you've never been exposed to her before. She is amazing, and her name is Dr. Nichole Peters.
Mm.
And woo, we are so blessed to have you. We made it though because we were actually gonna do this before and
Mhm.
we got life interrupted, right?
Yeah.
So yes, she's very popular and she is at the helm. We might turn the volume down. She is at the helm of an extraordinary organization. And let me just tell you a little bit about her. I'm going to read you some of this amazing bio. She is a professional, certified life coach, international motivational speaker,
Mm.
executive producer, publisher, and number one best-selling author of many books. Y'all, you hear all this anthology stuff people are doing now. She was doing it years ago because she's
Yes.
a pioneer. In
Yes.
2020, Dr. Nichole received her PhD in leadership and Bible studies, and in
Mhm.
2019, two honorary doctorates in Christian education and counseling. She is the CEO and founder of Believe in Your Dreams Academy, publishing, and even television. And
Mm.
television is about to steal the whole show, but I let her
Yes.
tell you that story. She loves reaching back and coaching women and youth who suffer from traumatic experiences to
Mm.
become believe warriors by snatching back their power of self-love through
Yes.
supernatural prayers, natural healing, and wellness, plus
Mm.
using her rocking ambition, leadership, and empowering mindset, hosting believe mastermind workshops and conferences. She is a
Mm.
diehard advocate for domestic violence survivors and the breakthrough catalyst of this hurting era that we live in right now. You know, I'm gonna stop there because you know what? There's more, but I'm gonna let her tell you about it because she has over 80,000 social media followers. So there is
Wow.
a few people that can tell you about her and her reach
Yeah.
internationally, Benicia, her
Hmm.
international reach. Wait, you want to hear this number?
Mm.
4 million.
Whoa. I can't believe it. I was just telling myself, like, where do I sign up? Like, amazing.
Yes, welcome, Dr. Peters. We know you
Welcome.
want us
Thank
to call you
you.
Nicole, but
Thank you
welcome, Dr.
all.
Peters.
Thank you all for
Yes.
having me. God bless you too. Y'all are two amazing, beautiful women. I would love to anytime be in the room with you all.
Oh, we appreciate that. And thank you for your time because we know that you are stretched these days, rightfully so, with all the multiple gifts God has given you. But we would love for you to just tell our audience, where did all of these things begin? Like, who is Nichole? Where did she come from? And we just want to journey with you on today.
Okay, so I can keep it real, right?
A
That's
Oh,
a
please
hundred
do.
percent.
real.
A
Yes.
hundred.
I am Nichole Peters that came from Redmond Heights Projects in Bogalusa, Louisiana, which is 63 miles north of New Orleans. You're looking at a
Mm.
girl that sat there on the hot concrete steps of many days and said that I believe. But God sat there and let me dream of plenty of days, not just in my sleep, But also on that step, in those project steps, I would just see visions of me helping others, and me someone getting attacked and me going to help them, or I see someone that can't buy canned food and my mama getting them something to eat, peanut butter and jelly for their kids in their house. And I used to say, I'm going to help others be able to eat, my dear. And they're not going to have to live off food stamps. And they're not going to have to live in a housing projects no more. I'm going to help as many people as I can. So as I grew up, I never stopped believing that I would believe in my dreams and be somebody one day. So that's where Nichole Peters came from. I came from that little girl that saw what it's like to live in poverty, but also saw a life that I would live and help so many around this globe.
That is so powerful, is the power of sight. Let's talk about that. So before you, do you believe before you can become something, you have to see it, Dr. Nichole?
Oh yes, I believe in manifestation. I believe in also speaking life. If I believe in visions so real, I know when there are visions from God. You got to
Mm-hmm.
know when you tap into the power of God, you know when
Mm,
the visions are clearly and they are real. Let's say, for
mm.
instance, just this last week here, I was on my way to one of the godmoms of the community of Redmond Heights that had passed away. Something
Yeah.
that gave me a feeling that I need to pull over and
Mm.
stay in Tallahassee, Florida, and not go to Louisiana to the next day. And I just make it that morning before the funeral. Well, that night at 3 o'clock in the morning, I got the call screaming and hollering that my daughter was the ambulance was coming. See, if I would have been already gone to Louisiana, that would have happened, and my daughter would have been having surgery. But
Come on.
I followed that vision, and God said to go ahead and pull over and rest. He knew I
Mm.
needed some rest before I was going to go back to Tampa because I was going
Yeah.
to have to deal with what my daughter. So my visions, I have them and I see them, and when I know that they're real, I execute with them.
Mm.
I talk to him about them, and then I make sure that how can I put it? I make sure that what the vision that he gave me, that I follow through. Because when you follow through with the vision from God, that's your purpose.
My
That's your
God.
passion.
Amen.
That
Mm-hmm.
is your mission. And you
Mm.
must follow your mission, because if you don't, then you guess what? God gonna make sure you do. I done ran plenty of time, Rich. I done ran plenty of time telling you from my purpose and my mission. I'm gonna tell you what it put me in a life full of hell.
Wow.
Mm.
Wow. Wow.
That's so
Wow.
good. That's what I talk about in my chapter. So I'm so glad to even hear you mention that, because a lot of people ignore the whisper. You know,
Mm.
they just ignore it. They keep going. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, I hear you, but no, I'm gonna keep going. And you go on your
Mm.
own strength. And when you do that, you make a conscious decision to be
Yeah.
disobedient.
Oh yeah,
Mm. Mm-hmm.
you
I know because
do.
I've done it.
And
Yes.
yeah, because because I noticed that every time the whisper came to me, every time the visions came to me, I noticed that when I don't react to them, how my life was versus when I did do what I need to do,
Yes.
step into my
Yes.
faith. See, God
Right.
said that we have to step, we must have a faith of a mustard seed. So many people
Mm-hmm.
are worried about their friends, their business partners, and everything
Mm,
going on.
yeah.
God didn't say have a mustard seed of business partners and friends. He said had a mustard
Oh,
seed of faith.
come on.
Come on.
Come
I know
on.
that's right.
So when you
Mm-hmm.
step into that mustard seed of faith, then that's all you need.
Yes.
That's all you
Mm.
need. And when you have faith, God will execute. When you believe Mark 9:23, that anything is possible for those that believe. So if I
Yes.
believe that I'm going to be great one day, and God
Mm-hmm.
said it's possible, it's a
Yeah.
possibility. It's
Yeah.
possible. And you know,
Mm.
his possible is always a check for yes. If you
Mm.
Mm,
if you have that faith and you believe just that much. And he
Yeah.
tells
yeah.
us in Jeremiah 29:11, and I'm not really trying to go to church, but it's
Mm-hmm.
just gonna come out of me. So I'm sorry. So
No,
You
he
have
no
tells us
have
apologies
one more time
necessary.
on this podcast.
and
On this.
Jeremiah 29:11 tell us he know what plans he has for us.
That's
It's
right.
he know where he want us to be at in life. So if he showed you the vision of what you're gonna be, I was a little girl. Even some of the same people in my neighborhood were just talking about that when they saw me. This lady saw me at the grocery store. Just said, "Girl, remember you were little? You said you were gonna help so many people, and you were gonna do this. And your daddy went all the way to New Orleans and got you that Superwoman, that Wonder Woman outfit. And you was
Mm-hmm.
like always, you had your little cape on, and you would go around in the projects, and you'd be helping people." She said,
Mm.
and the lady said, "I'm so glad. I'm
My
now
God.
78 years old, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
watching you live out those same things that you said when you was a
Come
little
on.
girl."
Come
Praise
on, the
God.
power
Look
of
at
the
that.
tongue.
Look at that.
Mm.
Look at
Yes.
Yes, the power of the song. So I mean, there's so many facets to your life, right? We could be on here all day, all night. What I love though about you is you're so authentic, you're so transparent. You can feel the passion that you have when you talk about helping people, being humble. So what I want to talk about is the journey, right? So little girl, have the dream, got the cape on, but life happens in between. So how does Dr. Nichole navigate, and if you can share with us some of those hard spaces and still be able to hold on to that dream?
Sure.
that.
Even when I was younger, my dreams faltered too because
Mm,
I was very smart in math and science. Very
mhm,
smart. You can give me a science project. Oh, I was gonna come in number one at the science fair. At the
mhm,
fair. You can give me something with math and I can just go with it and flow with it. But when it came to English, the United States English, and when it
mhm,
came to writing and reading comprehension, I had a little deficit with it. I had to get Title 1 classes. So,
mhm.
my teacher told me that when I raised my hand up after we had career day and I said I wanted to be an author and I want to be a speaker because the lady came in there and she rocked my world. Out of all the
Mm.
people that came in there, the mayor, the teachers, the firefighters, the counselor, nobody got my attention like the one that came and set us in that circle and read a book to us and talked to us about that book. She changed my whole life on that
Wow.
day because I was thinking about jumping that bridge at a young age and wanted to kill myself because I had just heard my grandmother, who thought I was already gone to school, tell my mama, "Don't you think it's time to let Nikki baby know that I'm not going to be here no more? I'll be leaving here because I'm dying of congestive heart failure." That tore me down because that
My
same
God.
project step I'm talking about was the same step that she taught me so much wisdom and
Mm.
knowledge and guidance. I used to sit with her and all her other little peers on that porch, all the young kids out there playing kickball and baseball, but I wanted to have that feeling, that soul feeling, even when I was younger. So when I
Yeah.
heard my grandmother was leaving me, I faltered for a second. I got
Mm.
bitter when things came on my shoulder, and when the teacher didn't believe in me for a minute, I was like, well, I can't be an author and a writer what I want to be with anyway. So I ended up going to college and
Mhm.
taking up something in science, like listen to what my teachers say. Because remind
Mm.
you, a child is with a teacher 7 to 8 hours a day, just as much
That's
as
Yeah.
right.
they with a parent,
Very
especially if that
influential.
parent works.
That's right.
So what a
Yeah.
teacher tell a child, they're gonna still believe it. So I cared for years, y'all. What that teacher said and was out there trying to be a nurse, out there trying
Mhm.
to be an accountant, did everything except for what God showed me in my vision that I was
My
gonna be.
God.
So I
Look at
went
that.
and I
Look at
ended
that.
up being with the wrong people for a minute, flunked out of college twice and
Mm.
everything
Mm.
because I didn't go in the vision that God had showed me.
Yeah.
So
My
I
God.
ended up with the wrong people in a domestic violence relationship, was struck in the head 3 times, had to get cognitive therapy, had to get brainstem therapy, had to get physical
Jesus.
therapy, had to go see a psychologist and everything because of what I went through. I was spelling the word that, THATDET. I literally
Mm.
had to go and get all type of physical, all type of therapy back over again,
My
all type
God.
of tutoring service go again. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna write again. I'm gonna talk again. I might not talk like you, but I'm gonna talk like me because God has a place for me. And I
Come
knew He
on.
said that I was gonna be that speaker. I was gonna be that writer, and I was gonna be that one that go all over the world and do what I have to do because it was my purpose. He showed it to me when I was just a
Mm.
little girl going all over my neighborhood, couldn't go no further and help as many people as I could. So in
Mm.
the
Mhm.
midst of it all, I fell down twice. I fell down a
Mm.
couple times. I ended up
Yeah.
having to get back on housing. I ended up having to get back on food stamp. I had to get on Medicaid because I was down to 14 medications. So
Woo.
stressed out. Went from 2 medicine to all of a sudden now this is broke down. I was on 5 medication. Then I was on 9 medication. Had to take Reservoir, which is the methotrexate biotic fuel for my inflammation, was that bad from RA, rheumatoid arthritis. Then I
My
had to
God.
take and then I had to take Humira shots because that was also going to help me with the methotrexate, and they wanted to do it because my inflammation was totally out of control with me having neurology. I had neuropathy, RA, and then I had degenerative disease of the spine, which they call spinalitis.
My God.
Sinusitis. So I'm going through 3 chronic pain. 3 chronic pain illnesses on top of the hypertension, the high cholesterol. Then they said I was diagnosed with this, and then it came to UC and diagnosed with that. I was like, you know what, Lord? I can't even hold my head up and help my kids with their work. I can't put this fork to my mouth. I know this is not all what you have for me.
That's right.
I done been abused. I done been through so much. I know that I said I was gonna help other people that was on food stamps, that was on Section 8 to break loose. Why I'm back in this same situation again? But he did that to humble me to back where I can get back to where I'm going, where
Yes,
I
yes.
can know how to relate to people that's sickly, how I know how
Yeah.
to relate to people that's not sickly as well. By making, I end up snatching back my health.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because your health is your wealth. And I ended up
Mm.
getting myself on essential oils, healing my body naturally, going through different Pilates and learning different ways to that, because you can't exercise the full way if you got a spinal problem. If your spinal is deteriorating. And in the
Yeah.
last 7 years, look at God. Since I've been
Look at
using
God.
frankincense and myrrh, because that's in the Bible.
That's right.
Frankincense, anything good enough for Jesus is good enough for me.
I
So
Mm.
know
I
that's
took
right.
that frankincense and I took that myrrh and I took that blessed oil and I rubbed it down my spine. Y'all, in 7 years, my MRI been the same. Ain't nothing been deteriorating.
Come
Tell me
on.
how God don't.
Yes.
God is
Come
good.
on. Healing.
He is
Healing.
a
Yes,
healing God. Yes, he
Mm-hmm.
is.
yes.
But that's
So
the
I was,
thing. It ties back to you and believe.
yes.
Believe.
Believe. I
Yes.
believed. I believe he was going to heal me. I was in that
Mm.
hospital bed and I had to do a conference. And I couldn't make it to California, but I asked her because she put me on live stream. And I had them to take that IV out. And I said, I don't want to hear no beep. I don't want y'all to come in my room for a minute. I'm going to rock this call. I'm going to
That's
do
it.
this call because I believe that God is still going to give me some clients off this call and I'm still going to be able to make it. I made it. And I did that call even sick. Y'all, when I got off the call, I literally almost like to passed out. But I believe that God was going to do me a life changing on that day. And he did. And he
Mm.
did. I ended up getting so many clients because even in that hospital room, I refused to not do I might not have been there physically, but I was there. And I was on that live stream, and I explained to them that no matter what you're going through, no matter how far you feel like you're down and you out for the count, long as God is still breathing in your nostrils and them dry bones can heal up and
Come
have some more
on.
to it, you can
Yes.
believe and be greater than, because great is
Yes.
in all us, great is he that is in me is also in the world. So I
Yes.
had
Yes.
to realize that.
Mm. So
Yes.
how did you formulate your relationship with God? Because as we can see, he's such a big part of who you are and the success that you have and the humility that you walk in to have so many accolades. So when did you find him? Was it at a young age? Was it at an older age? And can you give us some practical tips on how you walk that out? Because someone may be saying, you know what, I want to know God like that, or I have this, vision, but I don't know how to walk it out. So can you help our audience, help us? I'm
Sure.
here to learn myself.
I just say one word. I know one word, and you're gonna
Yeah.
take the rest from Medea. Medea.
Yes, yes,
Medea.
yeah. My dear, my grandma always told me one thing. Whenever you feel like you in darkness, the power of prayer. The
Yes.
power of prayer is everything.
Yes, it is.
It is your nutrients. The power of prayer is your antidote to
So
anything
good.
that you're going through in life. The power of prayer is what helped me because
My
I
God.
lost my way, as I was saying before. I ended up with the wrong relationship. And I didn't want him to go on no deals with no other people going with them. I heard some other girl was liking him. So I was like, you know what? I'll start traveling with you. So I started
Mhm.
traveling with him. You know, when you're young, you can be dumb and you can be crazy. And so
Yes, you
I ended
can.
up starting to travel with him, and a deal went bad till I had a gun pointed at my head.
Wow.
And the only reason why the guy did not kill me is because I was pregnant with my child.
Mm,
And he
mm,
said, I don't kill children and I don't kill pregnant women. But I'm gonna
mm,
take this what you got, and we're gonna rob y'all. Here's what he told me. I'm gonna rob you. At that point in time, that was a game changer for me because
mm.
we still had the police still came because the whole situation was just crazy and it's chaos. And I ended
Yeah.
up spending 5 days in jail. You know how Jonah spent 3 days in that belly of hell? I spent those
Yeah.
5 days in jail. That was good enough for me. And I looked at
Mm.
that judge in the eye and I told him, I said, you ain't got to never worry about me coming back in here.
Mm.
Ain't that
That's
much
right.
love in the world that I don't love, that I love another man more than I love myself. I said, I
Mm.
promise you, this right here, he would tell you I said this too. I said, I
Mm-hmm.
promise you, I'm going to live out my vision that God gave me. I said, whatever you want to give me, that's fine with me, but all I'm asking you for is another chance. I said, because
Mm-hmm.
if you give me that chance to change my life, I said, I promise to you, I'm going to
Mm.
make sure the whole world know who I am. The
Wow.
next time that judge saw me, I was at that same school that the teacher told me that I couldn't be that author, that writer, and was teaching other kids how to become a best-selling author and a writer. And that
Come
judge
on.
looked at me and he said, you told me you was going to change your life. He said, and look at you now. He said, if
Mm.
you don't see God all over you, baby, I don't know what it is. But that same school, I go every summer because Dana Walker, she teaches a summer camp there at the school. And in the auditorium, I speak to the kids every year besides last year because of COVID. And I go
Mm.
back and I bring them books, I bring them prizes, and I teach them how to be a best-selling author, regardless of where they at in life, regardless of where they come from, or regardless of if they have an A, B, C, or D, they still can be who God said they could be.
Yes. Yes.
Amen. Amen. You are just a walking just a walking billboard, bucket, vat.
Yes.
I don't know what word, full of inspiration. Like
Yes.
it just comes out
My
of you.
God.
Yes.
You can't help but be inspired and motivated to move. You know how
Mm-hmm.
some motivational speakers, you know, I consider myself a motivational speaker as well, but some of us will get you all worked up and then you'll get to the parking lot, turn the car on, you're like, oh, that was good.
Yeah.
And then there are other motivational speakers. They cut you to the core.
Mm-hmm.
Go home and you're still talking about it. You can't even
Yeah.
sleep. You want to write stuff down. You're like, next time I see her, I'm going to see her again. I'm going to let
Yeah.
her know she changed my life. That's the kind of speaker you are.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank you.
People. You impact people.
Yeah.
And that's why your life was spared, because there's so many people. I say this all the time, and then we're connected, the three of us, with other people that say this as well. Your story is not about you.
Yeah.
You know, your story is not about you. And once you get it through your head that your story is not at all about you, it's for somebody else to find their
Yeah.
way.
Mm.
You know, that
So
that's
powerful.
And my
really
apostle used to say that all the
together.
time. I know I have heard people like motivation, great motivation speaking like Dr. Cheryl, and a couple people say it as well. Karen has said it as well. But my apostle used to say that at church all the time. Nicole, your testimony is not
Yeah.
for you. You need to
Mm-hmm.
let your warrior out. And when you finally do, you're gonna
Yeah.
be amazing. Because when I moved to Texas and I decided to change my life, I decided to leave him. Much as I loved him, I had to
Yeah.
love me and my children first. And I could
Yeah.
Yes.
not stay in an environment where you want to keep on doing this. I'm not. I'm ready to go live the life that God said I would live, even if it take
Mm.
me to crawl and start from the bottom. As I said,
Yeah.
I had to go back and get every government assistance there was again. But you're looking
Mm-hmm.
at somebody who went from food stamps to six figures. You're looking at
Yes.
Come on.
somebody that lived in Section 8 and went to six figures. I want to teach them the same way that I did it. You can do it too.
That's right.
Even though I went through a lot, the abuse that I went through with my ex was tremendously. Like it
Yeah.
took me out as well. The things that
Mm-hmm.
I went through in life, as far as me being looked on, because when back in the day when if you was a dark skinned girl, you even got picked on for being a dark skinned girl.
Mm-hmm.
That's not more than you getting picked on because you live in the projects. People look down on you. Your own people sometimes look down
Yeah.
on you because of where you were from. Because you
Mm.
don't have on that Gucci belt and they in there, they driving. So yeah, I got caught up in that life because I finally found, I'm 20 years old driving
Yeah.
Cadillacs. I'm 20 years old with, like living that life. So I got caught up in the wrong life, the wrong world. That was the
Yes.
dark world. I tell people,
It
yeah, it's
happens
fast
with
money,
you. It
but
happens with
anything
you.
Yeah, mammon is of God. I mean, mammon is
Yeah.
not of God. I started worshiping money instead of
Hmm.
worshiping God.
Talk
When I
about
turned,
it.
yes, when I turned it around and started worshiping God and let Him provide for me,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's when the ball game came.
That's right. That's right.
That's when the life changing came. That's when I told Him, I said, I'm gonna go form me an organization. God, are you with me? And I
Mm,
got that answer, yeah, I'm with you. And now my
mm.
organization is almost 60,000 strong with my women of
Wow.
love, power, respect. Then I said, Lord, I want to go even further. I want to help these women. So many of these women that's been abused and been battered. I want them to not just tell their story. I want them to write it and have it all over the world, all over the globe where people can see it. Lord, are you with me? Lord, show me He was still with me then. Then I said, I
Mm,
want to go even further. I want to take them to where they can put it on a screen and tell their
mm.
stories and invite other people to tell their stories. Because don't get me wrong, I love
Yes.
me some Michelle Obama. I think that
Mhm.
she have amazing story. I think Oprah have amazing story. I think Joyce
Yeah,
Meyer
Yeah.
have amazing story. But what about the people that people don't know about in those little
that's right.
areas and everywhere that have such phenomenal
That's
stories that
that's
people don't
it.
know? And one
Yeah.
That's
thing
it.
Michelle Obama
Yeah.
mama said was this. She said Barack have amazing story, and she said Michelle have amazing story, but it's so many other people in this world have one too. When
That's right.
When Miss Robinson said those words, Michelle Obama mama said those words, that put an instant in me like this is what I've been saying. He saw
Yeah.
confirmation from the first lady of the White House to a young girl that was struggling at that time to go out
Mm.
there and do what she had to do in this world. So I
Yeah.
say
Yeah.
that let your light shine. And when you let your light shine, other people will see it too. Even if you at the
Yeah.
bottom, people will
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
see you and come and help you and help
Yeah,
you
well.
reach back. So my life is all about reaching back and helping others. My life is
Yeah.
about strengthening others and telling them, yes, I've been through this. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
I went to jail for 5 days. And I know some people say, girl, you act like you've been in jail for 10 years. Those 5 days broke me down. I don't know
I
about
know
you.
that's right.
It changed my
Listen.
life.
Listen.
It, yes.
Listen.
Mhm.
That's so amazing. And we all, to your point earlier, like, some people like, oh, I can't believe you went. Everybody was silly at some point, right, in their life. And I understand one decision. Because we were talking about grace and mercy, right? In the
Yes.
pre-show, we were talking about
Yes.
grace and mercy.
Grace
And
and mercy.
thank God for your relationship with God, because grace and mercy, because it's somebody who got caught up and they had to bid time. I know people, friends of
Mhm.
mine, got caught up with somebody, could have been me, got caught up with men that was living lifestyles that didn't have nothing to do with Jesus, if you know what I mean.
Amen.
And
Yeah.
so thank God for his grace and his mercy. But what I love is what you said about when you chase purpose, when you chase vision instead of chasing money and things. Not only will God grant you that, but then you got the peace that come with it. You got the protection that comes with it. You know what I'm saying?
You got the
You can
safety.
stand in the gap for your children. It's so many benefits to serving God.
Mhm.
Can we talk about that a little bit? How he just kept expanding you. That's another thing that I love. You didn't just stop at the one thing, because we tend to do that sometimes. Well, God, you told me to open this. Okay, you told me to write that book, and now I'm good. But talk about the benefits and how he just continues to stretch you, but you do have to step out on unfaith.
I was just amazed. And when I told God, I said, you know what, Lord? I said, I'm going to give it all to you. I'm not perfect.
Mm,
Don't get me wrong, you all, because y'all know them kids are still making Kurt Franklin, I understand. Those kids will
listen,
sometimes make you go there. So I'm not perfect at all, but
right.
I'm a good mother. But I'm a fierce mother, and I'm a
Mm-hmm.
protector type mother. But at
Mm,
the same time, I told God, I said, work with me, Lord. Create me a new heart. Create me a new mindset. Create me a new atmosphere. Get out all the people out of my life. And when I'm telling you, when you ask God to get the people out your life that really not for you, I'm telling you, it's sometimes that will break you down because
yes,
you'll
it
see
will.
people leaving you that you never thought would ever leave you and was ever thought
Mm,
was against you. But
my
you know what? I
God.
got to the point where I said, as long as God for me, it doesn't matter who against me. As long as
Mm,
I had God, whoever he gonna take out my life, because I asked him for that. So let
Yeah.
him
That
do
is
what he
so
had to
true.
do and work on me, mold
Mm,
me, and create me a new person again. Create me in your image, Father. So as
mm.
he started doing that, I learned and I learned and I kept going. And I said, Lord, what else you want me to do? And before you know it, I was producing movies and helping produce books and helping
Wow.
produce television shows. Then I started getting endorsements. And then all of a sudden I started getting calls from people way in UK with mini TV and all over the world saying, look, we don't want to just have you on our show. We don't want you to just have a TV show or a channel. We want to have a partnership with you.
Wow. Wow.
Life
Wow.
changing $1 million contract partnerships with you. And I just signed it like maybe 2 months ago, and it goes in effect starting August.
My
So
God.
I said, you know what? I'm now able to bless so many people. And I said, Lord, for this, what can I possibly do? And he said he's going to take me even further. I went out and scouted 21 women and told them, do they have only $297? If you got $297, I'm going to put you on a $15,000 platform. I don't want the rest of the money. I want you to show up and tell your story and grab other people to tell their story too. So I blessed them to come on Believing Dreams with a scholarship program for the 297. The
Come
297
on.
covered a commercial, covered a intro, covered a graphics, and covered them to get started. I didn't make a dime off of it. I actually put $300 more in that for them because I know one thing about it, that God was going to bless me. 2 weeks later, I got another phone call, y'all, that said, we want you on our platform too. And we want you not to only be on the platform with the channel, but we want you to sign up other people, and we're going to bring them to you to do the media coaching and producing for. And this is a multi-million-dollar company.
My
Because I
God.
did what I told God I was going to do, and that's going to go out there and reach and help others to get their TV shows. Now, I got people who I never thought that I looked up to. People like Les Brown, I looked up to and watched him. I used to just listen to him over and over as I was trying to change my life. And he would say, you got to be hungry. And if you down,
That's right.
if you down, if you can look up, you can get up. Those words resonated
Yes.
with me so much. And when
Jesus.
Nelson Mandela said these words here, that if you got a kind heart, God is going to always be there for you. And I
Yes.
knew that all my life, even when I was even a little girl that got in trouble sometimes, if somebody was hungry, I was going to feed them. If somebody
Yeah.
was going through something, I was going to make sure if I have nothing else, I had a prayer. My grandma used to always tell me a prayer is worth $1 million, and more than that $1 million is worth $1 million. She said,
Mm.
you can't get nobody nothing, two things that start with a P. She said, give them prayer and peace. And
Come
watch how
on.
your life changes. And I watched how I did just that. I prayed for people even when I couldn't pray for myself. I still prayed for
Jesus.
others. It was so many
Yes.
days when one of my friends, she came to see me. She said, Nichole, I didn't even know you was in this situation. When I was just learning how to get myself back to walking good and everything. She said, because you get on there every day and you still get people like, I'm thinking you living your best life. I said, baby, I am still living my best life
Mm.
because God
Yes.
is still breathing through my nostrils. He's still telling me that I'm going to
Come
make it, to
on.
push through.
That's
And I
right.
got to stay strong and become a warrior. That's when I became a believe warrior because I saw him bring me out of so many different things. When that gun was pointed to my head, that steel from that gun felt so cold. It's like my whole brain was freezed up. And to that
Girl.
day, I still can see that. But one thing I see now is helping other women not get in that situation no more.
Yes.
If I can
Yes.
just say one, y'all, one day, just one day at a time, if I can say one person, I'm doing what God told me I would do. That same vision from when I was a little girl, I believed that one day this day was going to come for me. I believe
Mm.
so hardly that everything I have, y'all, if y'all notice, it say believe in your dreams publishing, believe in your
Yes.
dreams academy, believe in your dreams television, believe in your dreams mindset, and believe in your
Come
dreams
on.
retreat. Because I believe that my visions, instead of saying vision, I didn't say believe in your vision, I said believe in your dreams. Because a lot of
Yes.
people don't know that God come through you right through your dreams.
Mm.
Right through
Yes.
when you somewhere, and have you ever noticed that you stare and you go to thinking sometime, and then all of a sudden you get answers back? Who you think talking to you?
Come on.
Powerful.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
That's
ma'am.
God. Stop worrying about what those critics out there saying. Stop worrying about, if I would have worried about critics saying, I wouldn't be here, y'all. Because when
No.
I lost my able to talk and I was stutter all the time, and because of the brain injuries and everything that I went through, if I would have let that get to me, I wouldn't be speaking. But Dr. Cheryl Wood was doing a program called Vocalizer, her first Vocalize class last year. And I had stopped speaking, y'all, for 2 years. 2 years. I wanted to heal myself, get myself back. I can't stand people that's hurt. When you hurt and broken, go sit down somewhere, as you said a while ago, Brisha. Go sit down somewhere.
Say
And
it
that's
again.
what I did. I went and I sat down for a minute to get myself together. And when she flashed across there and she said something about vocalizing, I said, vocalize. I said, God been telling me to use my voice. I said, vocalize. I said, I'm going to get in this academy, even though I know those great speakers and who I was going to come up against and all this and that. But I didn't see it as coming up against because I didn't see them as my competition. I said, they're my real, true sisters. They're going to lift me up and understand at least this girl is trying. Everything I've been through, y'all, I can sit and easily get Social Security because I fall right in that category. But that's not
Mm-hmm.
enough for me. And I'm not saying
Mm.
that to anybody that needed it because I needed it before too. But I'm letting
Yeah.
you know that you can come out of it if you want more, regardless, because God can heal you through any pain, through any
Mm.
Yeah.
diseases. He is
Come
a disease
on.
healer. He is our rock. He is our
Yes.
strength. He is our
Yes.
Jehovah Rapha. That's the
Yes.
healer in him.
Yes.
That's the
Yes.
healer in you.
He
And so
says
I'm
we
here
can
to
rise.
tell you
He
this.
says, yes.
Whenever you're going through something, drop to your knees and pray. Ask
Yes.
Jesus.
God, even if you can't hardly get back up. But I noticed that every time I started dropping to my knees, y'all, God started getting me back up faster and faster.
Come
I said, He
on.
working. I said, He working, mama. I said, He working, my dear. I said, God working. And my mama just cried on the phone because she know what I've been through. My mom would just say, please, Nichole, don't give up. Don't give,
Mm.
never ever settle. And my dad used to always
Never
tell
say.
me, as long as you got 10 toes and 10 fingers, baby girl, go out there and rock. That's why I
Mm.
say the word rock all the time. I always say the
Mm-hmm.
word rock because I never forget, rest in peace to my dad. But he always would say, if you got 10 fingers and 10 toes, don't wait on nobody else. Go out there and get it for yourself because God gonna help you through it.
So
Yes.
good. So good. The power of prayer. The
Yes.
power of
Power.
prayer.
And
And
you're
not having
surrounded.
to pray. Yes, not having to pray like everybody else pray, but being real and honest with where you are and what you need. That vulnerability, Dr. Nichole, for you to just say, hey, I don't know who needs to be here, who doesn't, but what I do know is that I need you in order to fulfill this vision, this mission, this purpose. I'm so encouraged. But one thing that I love and I want you to talk about is the attitude of gratitude and servanthood. I heard something and it just blew my mind. Tanya and I talk about this all the time. I said, sometimes I get real confused with the church and people in it because I think Jesus was the perfect example. I just do, right? And so he served all the time, and he was Jesus, right? If I recall, he washed the disciples' feet. I think he even cooked breakfast in one chapter, and he was Jesus. And then I heard this quote that said, the higher you go in titles and money or whatever the case may be, the more of a servant attitude you should have. Talk to us about, I could see why you blessed to go back and say, listen, I'm going to pull these women up. You know what I mean? I'm gonna sow into their breakthrough. You done made it. You don't have to. So let's talk about the importance of having humility and a servant attitude.
Because a lot of them don't. Because a lot, I'm gonna be real, and I know some of them gonna be offended, but if the shoe fit, wear it. Because a lot of them don't. Once they get those titles, a lot of them, once they get that payment from you, they switch up on you.
Yeah.
And if it
Ooh,
weren't for me having that, if it weren't for me having that strong backbone, if it weren't for me having that spine where I know that God had me in that camp because the enemy wanted me so bad in his, and I went through so much, and I stayed on God's side because my grandma always told me the enemy gonna try to break you down, and you don't falter, keep going. And
Yeah.
so when that happened to me, I told one of my coaches. And I know how she did me. She actually had called me, and she actually had told someone, "Oh, that girl, she don't, all her words don't come out right." They come out enough to reach others, though.
Mm.
They come out enough to tap into the power of God, where when I speak, He'll come out of me.
Come
They come
on.
out enough to where I have a heart to know that as long as I love others and care for others, that is okay. So they have some out there. Once you cut them that check, they don't have nothing else for you. So I
Mm-hmm.
No.
said, I don't want that to happen to nobody, because when you reach back to people like me who's been wounded and broken, been in the distress, been in disparity, the least thing we need is somebody to put us down. The least
Come
thing we
on.
need is somebody that, instead of walking with us and holding our hand, to trample over us. We're supposed to
Yeah,
trample over the enemy, not over our own people.
that's
That's
right.
right. That's right.
So when that happened to me, I said my mission is to make sure I go back out there and get the ones that's downtrodden, get the ones
Mhm.
that's abused and broken, and treat them like they're somebody. That's what
Yeah.
Jesus did. Jesus treated everybody like he was somebody.
Yes,
I get
everybody.
tired of them always saying this right here, y'all. Oh, they're not. We're not fruit together. Or, what's the main word they say together? Birds together, flock together. Birds together,
Yeah.
flock together. That's not true, because I know some birds will go with the other birds and over there and eat the same old the pellets they have to eat. So
Mm.
sometimes you gotta share. And it doesn't matter if we all in that same boat and we already know what we need to get to God. Who in
Yeah.
that boat gonna go back in and help the ones that's drowning?
That's right.
Mm.
It's so important.
It's so important. So I'm gonna always reach back and see who back there drowning. And me and you
Yeah.
already know what to do in that boat, the paddle to get across. Who are we helping? That's what Jesus is gonna say. Well, what about the ones that was back there drowning?
That's
What
right.
about the
Pay
ones?
it
Are you gonna
forward.
let them know, even if they're at the bottom of that ocean, there's still pearls?
Mm-hmm.
Even if
Right.
Mm-hmm.
they're at the bottom of
Just
that ocean,
one.
there's
You
still
save
pearls.
just one, you've saved me.
That's
If
Yes,
you
right.
save just
yes,
one,
and
you
that's what
That's
saved
I
me.
don't
right.
like about these titles. That's why I don't really truly go with a title. My name
Mm.
on my platform, you will never see doctor on it, but I am
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Nichole Peters.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm Nichole Peters first.
Yeah.
I am
Yes.
Nicole Peters, who was there to help others before I even got an honorary doctorate,
Come
before I
on.
even got my PhD. And some of them let that title get in their mind. And it
Come
changed
on.
them, and it changed them to where they get this uppity attitude. And that's
Yeah.
not
Yes.
what your title is for. Your title is for your mission to help others, compassionate
Come
empathy.
on.
That's if you got an honorary doctorate or you got a chaplain doctorate. What
Yeah.
are you doing? I don't get it. What are
Yes.
you doing? Why you
Tell
gotta
the
make
truth,
people believe
Doc.
that you gotta sit on your live with red bottom shoes on in a Coach purse or with Gucci on, and that make them feel like that's what they have to have on in order to join your mission? God
No.
said, "Come as you are," and He wasn't talking about no outfit.
Come on. Character, integrity. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Those
And
are
for
the
you
things
to
that
be
matter the most. Those
that
are the things that absolutely matter.
and
That's
love.
what God is
And
looking at.
love,
He's looking at your
love
heart.
is God
He's
is
looking at
love.
your heart.
Yes,
The
he
Yes.
heart,
is.
the
That's
heart.
right. That's
God is
right.
love.
God is
That's why
love.
my
That's
first
right.
book was called A Woman of Love, Power, and Respect. Because
Mm.
one thing about it, you must love others, but you gotta love yourself too. And I
Yes.
think that the people that get those titles and do people that way that they do, they can't love themselves. And
Yeah.
that's why I look at it and say, okay, you might have a couple words that's better than me, but your heart is nowhere close to me. And that's
Mm-hmm.
why God keep blessing me. I even had people say, "Oh, why God keep blessing her?" Because I'm a soldier, I'm a
Right.
warrior, and I'm
Right.
gonna go out there and reach the people
On
that you
his
ordained to
army.
reach to,
Yes.
the
Yes.
ones you
On
And my
his
said to
army.
motives
talk
is
to.
right. And your
The
Yes.
motives is right. Your motives isn't for the fame and the fortune and the
Yes,
lights. And when you really have God's heart, when you carry his heart, when you really embrace being his hands and his feet, and your motive is right, the Bible says that when you are humble, he promotes you. And you know what else
Yes.
I love?
and the
Is
meek
that
will
you could
inherit the
be,
earth.
come on.
Hello.
You can be a
Hello.
coach, you can be a coach, but there is only a certain people that Nichole can touch. There's only certain people that's going to connect with your story, with
I
your
just spoke about that
anointing.
earlier
And
tonight.
so,
Yes.
yeah,
We
that's
could
one thing
say
I
the
love about
same
Tanya.
exact thing.
Yeah, that's one thing I love about Tanya, that I fell in love with her, and I see it in you as well, is she wants everybody to win. Like, it's enough for all of us. I know one of my friends says this all the time. He like, we all can eat. Like, I want
Yes.
all of us to eat. And so that really just warms my heart in a world that's doggy dog. You understand what
Yes.
I'm saying? When
Yes.
we're believers, we shouldn't be looking like the world. Like, I'm going to do whatever I have to do to get where I need to get. No, like you said, if I
Yes.
trust and I believe God and I know I walk in favor and I know that, he reigns on me. That's what he says, the just and the
Yes.
unjust.
Yes.
I don't have to be worried about you. But one thing you said that I love is that you have to be a healed person. Let's talk
Mm.
about healing from the inside out. It's so many broken people bleeding on people, trying to lead people. Let's
Mhm.
talk about not only your physical healing, but what type of inner healing did you have to do to come to the place to love yourself, where then better decisions could flow out of you. Then you could be more apt to be obedient, right? Because your inner man had been strengthened. How important is that?
You're so powerful. You're so
Yeah.
powerful.
Thank
You're
you.
so powerful.
Oh,
And you're
praise
so
God.
right. And you're so right. Both of y'all so powerful. And I'm glad Tanya's that type. And I knew when I started talking to her, I said, this is a divine connection. I
Yes.
felt it all through my soul with
Yes.
her.
Yes.
That's why if I'm
Girl,
available anytime she need me, I come on. Because there's a lot of people I have to tell them I don't have anything right now. I can't,
Yes.
I don't have no schedule. But if I can fit
I
Tanya in there,
know.
she knows I make sure that I rock it with her. Because
I
the
Yes.
know. I
simple
love
fact is
you
this
too,
right here.
sis.
She's not broken. You can tell she's been there before,
Yes.
but she's
Yes.
healed.
Come
She's
on.
healed. Because let me tell you something. When she told me that what she went through with her health, one thing when you're going through pain with your health, that's a whole different subject that can mess with your psyche, right, Tanya?
Come
It can
on.
it can break you down and
Yes.
make you feel like I don't want to live like this, Lord. I know
Yes.
you got more for me.
Yes.
Pain will make you turn into something that you are not with your
Yes.
physical
Mhm.
health. But inner, that inner
Yes.
from that heart pain, that mindset type pain. If you're
Yes.
not healed from that, you will destroy your yokes all around you.
Jesus.
Every
Oh,
yoke that you will tap, every yoke you touch, every person you have come around, you will hurt them
wait.
because you already hurt
Yes.
and broken. And you don't know how to heal nobody if you are broken. It is your time to go get back on your infant milk, which is that word, that Bible, and get into there and learn
Yes.
that you are more than a conqueror. Learn
Come
that you
Yes.
on.
might fall short of the glory, but that don't mean that you have to go around breaking everybody else into pieces. That means
Yes.
that you go and get yourself together and spend your time in your secret place with the
Come
I,
on.
the Most High, to help you
That's
heal.
right.
Because
He'll tell
some
you when
people
to come
around
out.
here,
He'll
if
tell
you
you
want
when
to
to
coach
come out.
somebody and
That's
charge them
right.
$15,000, but you already don't even have your own house in order. You don't have your
Mm.
own house in order. You
Talk
don't have your
about it.
own heart in order. You don't have your own mindset in order. You don't have anything in heart order. So that way you're breaking down every teacher, every student that come to you, you send them into darkness and go out there and have some more dark yoke. So it's
My
best
God.
that
Yes.
you go and heal yourself. Bring
You
yourself back
better
out
come
into the
on.
light. And I
Yes.
knew
Yes.
when I came back out, I said, God, you got me ready. Because I
Yes.
knew I had to sit down somewhere.
Come on.
I knew I had to sit down somewhere. People like, Nichole, come on, that's not like you. You ain't did a conference in over a year. Because I knew where I was in my secret place with the Most
Mm.
High. Getting
Mm.
these things involved, because when I wrote that book about domestic violence, it ripped me apart, y'all. It ripped me
Yeah.
apart of the things that I allow myself in my 20s to go through, even though I was in my 40s now. Because
Yeah.
sometimes you'll go back in your past, and if you're
Yeah.
not healed from your past,
Come on. Come on.
Jesus.
It'll
you'll break
drive
Nicole,
everything that
you
you
said
do.
it. You
Yeah. Yeah.
said it.
Yeah.
The
you'll
Mm.
growth
break
I've
people
had since I
down
put my
so
stuff on
bad.
paper, uh,
Mm.
uh,
Oh,
it's
oh, okay.
amazing.
Wait. I'm just so like, okay. Dr. Nichole, what you said is so powerful about if you don't take time to sit down, right, and heal, allow God to even take you through those traumas so he could show you where he was, what decision you made. I remember this happened to me and it was so powerful. It lines up exactly what you said. I remember going to counseling, right? And I remember the counselor saying, Benicia, you're holding yourself hostage at
Mm,
45. from
Mm, mm,
something
mm,
you did when you were 25. You're not
mm.
even that same person no more. You don't even think the same anymore. However, you got to know that. And when she said that, it's like a light bulb went on because the healing has to come and God touches our inner man, right? And our subconscious is what drives us a whole lot. It's not even that you're thinking that. Like, I didn't wake up thinking that, but when she said that, I said that is so true. And that's exactly what you are saying is that if we don't sit down, if we don't allow God to heal, we'll allow these strongholds in our life to keep us down. We got to be able to go through it and say, yeah, now I can tell the enemy, yeah, I did that. Because he reminds us on a regular basis who you was, what you did, what you're not going to do. But once you know who you are and you've been healed in that space, it can no longer hold you captive.
You
And so
become
now,
unstoppable.
come on.
You become unstoppable. I'm gonna tell you what I tell my team. Get on the bus, and that's
Jesus.
breakthrough unstoppable success. Once
Yes.
you have healed yourself
Mm.
through God,
Yeah,
the power of healing, Jehovah Rapha, is real.
it's real.
And once you tap into that power with God, that you know He the reason why you are healed, not what nobody else says, not what
Yeah.
nobody else done. It don't even work. You don't even worry about what they say about your past no more. Yeah, I did it. Now are you ready to change?
That's right.
That's how you'll come at it.
Come
Because when
on.
I started changing my life, the first thing people said was, "Don't forget about your past." Don't. They was more worried about my past than Jesus was. Jesus had already said, "Give it to
Yes,
me."
and
Nailed
they
it
need
to the cross. Woo.
they need to go. That's right.
Mm.
They need to go.
That's
And
It's
why I
so
said
powerful.
that mustard seed of faith, y'all. If you got
My
that
God.
mustard seed of faith, if you just believe, it
Mm.
doesn't matter. You don't have to have a mustard seed of friends, a mustard seed of critics. Let them criticize you. Without them, how
they
can you
don't
grow?
always criticize.
My
Yes.
They ain't
God.
doing but grow you. And the more they was saying that girl crazy, she ain't gonna write no book. Y'all know Nichole got that head injury. She ain't gonna write no book.
Girl
Y'all know the
can't
girl
talk.
can't,
That girl,
it
whatever.
happened.
You're a walking miracle. You are a walking
Yes.
physical. This is what I love. This is why the enemy really tried to come against you, though, is because there's not too many areas Nichole can't talk about. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a force to be reckoned with when you can come in, like you said, and relate, not make people feel bad because they're there. I can meet you where you are, but help bring you up. And that's what I love about you and your whole life is you just did not forget what God had did for you, and that's what breeds that humility, and that I'm sure is what drives you to keep wanting to help, because if he didn't help you, where would you be? It's only for his grace, like you said.
I would be
And
in
keeping
hell.
that in front. And keeping that in
Yes,
front. You know,
yes.
Yes. I would
it's
be in
just so
hell.
powerful.
Yes.
Hmm.
And that's why I want to help others. And I tell people all the time, you can call me the breakthrough catalyst all the time. But I'm also a breakthrough hell person.
Mm.
Let's break the chains off everybody that the enemy is trying to put in hell. Because if he can keep you in that darkness, if he can
Come
keep
on.
you blinded, if he can keep you voiceless, if he can keep you muted, then you can't go anywhere. You're
Yeah.
not gonna go anywhere. And there's no sense of you running.
Mm.
It's no running from your purpose. Once you
Yes.
step into it and go ahead and level yourself
Yes.
up with God. Because it's nothing like leveling yourself up with God and let him surround you with great leaders like yourselves, like
Mm.
Bernicia, like
Mm-hmm.
Tanya, like
Mm-hmm.
Karen Cherries, like
Mm-hmm.
different people that Dr. Stevie A. Mills, and you see the difference in when he bring you great people in your life.
Yes. Yes.
My
If you
God.
Yes.
ask
It's
for, if
true.
you ask, it's in the Bible. It said, if
Mm.
you ask, you shall receive.
Yeah.
Mm.
But you gotta believe.
You have to
Yes.
I
believe.
believe in
Have to
everybody,
believe.
no matter what they've been through. I believe in the
Mm.
preacher to the drug dealer. I believe
That's
the
right.
drug dealer can change his life because everybody in that pulpit that's a preacher ain't.
Come on. Come on. Come on.
No, you
Come
don't
on.
have. Like this podcast speak truth. Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am. And I
I
think
believe in the
that one
gun
of
to
the
the
key
prostitute.
things,
I believe that
yes,
prostitute can change her life. I believe
Yes.
in the teacher and I believe in that dropout. I believe that
Yeah.
dropout can go back and get a PhD. You looking at one, even though I graduated from high school, I flunked
Mhm.
out of college twice.
Mm.
I flunked out of
yeah,
college twice. And
Yeah.
here you here looking at someone that got two PhDs in
Mm.
leadership and biblical studies.
My
So don't
God.
tell me what God can't do for you. You're
Never
looking
too
at
late.
someone that stayed in the project for 18 long years and
Mm.
now trying to help others to build houses, to get
Mm.
their own houses, and don't depend on nobody else to get it for you. Because
Yes.
I was stuck too. I was stuck on paying that $26 a month for rent. Because that's where they
Mm-hmm.
keep you at, but we won't grow no further.
yeah. So
That's
you won't
right.
It's
grow.
a
So you
system.
won't grow.
That's right. That's right. And you
Nicole,
can't do what you
Nicole,
don't know.
You can't do what you
Nicole.
won't know.
When we sit down and have some coffee,
Mm-hmm.
we don't talk about the two guns.
Yeah.
We don't talk about the two abusive relationships.
Mm.
We don't talk about the college dropouts that
Mm.
we. I'm just starting the similarities of our story.
Yeah.
Wow.
The health
Wow.
Wow.
issues. I
Wow.
don't even talk about the gun situation because I can still see it because
Yeah.
it was
Mhm.
with a blue handle. I can
My
still see
God.
that
Yes.
sitting here quiet, but girl, you such a blessing. And God meant
Such a
for us to
blessing.
meet.
So
He
are
meant
you.
for this
So
to
are you,
happen.
Tanya.
Yes.
For this to
Are you,
happen.
Nichole?
You know,
Mm.
there's
Yeah, and I said
people's
our
lives are
footsteps
gonna
are
change.
ordered. Every last
Yes.
one of our steps are ordered.
Mm,
So
That's
if
right.
it took me to go through all that to help break through for so many, thank you, Lord. Thank you for
Mm-hmm.
your grace and mercy. I don't take
Mm.
back nothing in my past because my future is so bright.
Come
yeah.
on.
Because
Thank you,
everything
Jesus.
I went through, I'm helping others with in the domestic violence. People who feel like they got cotton eating problems and they feel like they don't. I got one of my friends will not come on Facebook and do anything because she says she's scared she's gonna have a misspelled word. I went back on my page and showed her some of my words that was not properly correct and said I still have over 100 people hitting like on it. People
Come
who
on.
gonna love you for you.
Yeah.
I
That's
said I
so
still have
good.
people that have over 50,000 on one page, 120,000 on another page. I said people are gonna love you for you. You're not for everybody. So if you
That's right.
misspell a word and they don't want you on there and they got something to say, they're not for you.
That's
They're
right.
not
That's
for
right.
you.
That's
They're
right.
not for you. So
That's
don't
right.
worry
Listen
about
to
it.
your spirit because your spirit will tell you who is for you and who isn't.
Yes.
Yes.
Stop trying to force a round peg in a square hole. The
Mm.
relationship and your integrity is not worth it.
That's right.
It's
That's
not.
right. That's
It's
right.
not. And don't
Your
That's
go
whole
put
right.
a mask on for nobody when you done took the mask off for God.
hello.
Yes, that's so good. That's so good. And get away from that perfectionism, right? This
Yes.
world, is just so much, with taking selfies and, perfecting everything like this microwave generation and all of that. God wants authenticity, the real you, the
Yeah.
vulnerable you, the one that can say, me too, the
Unmasked.
Yes.
humble you. Like,
Yes.
yes, I've been there. Okay. Yes, that's
Yes.
what God is looking for. And so I
Mhm.
love that. No, we don't have to be perfect. We're striving, right? We're walking, we want to be excellent. We're walking in excellence. We
We
love
walk
excellence.
it.
We should be in order. We represent our daddy. We should be. But
Mm-hmm.
perfection will cause you to stay stifled. I know about it. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
it
Yes.
will.
That is
Yes.
such a
Me too.
powerful, powerful statement to let people know, hey, be you. And who for you will stay around. And this is what I've learned, Dr. Nichole. Listen, nobody can replace somebody like Jesus. Do you hear me? It's nothing
Amen.
that I ever let go that the Lord told me to, that He didn't bless me
Been
double
replaced.
back. Okay?
Yes.
So
Yes.
Amen.
don't
Amen.
be scared, whoever you are, to let go of whatever God is saying. A man been there, done that. Okay.
Yep.
Jobs been there, done that. State been there, done that.
Yes.
Dr. Nichole, Tanya been there, done that. And it might seem a little lonely, but honey, your peace is priceless. And then when God brings it, He'll do better than you can ever anticipate. He's the way. He
He
is.
Yes.
is
He
right
is the
now.
way. He is the
He
way
is.
and he is the light and
Yeah.
he's our rock.
He
And when we
is.
just let him lead, think about it. People out here want to control us, but even
Hmm.
God gives us a decision and he guides us. He
Come
let us
on.
say, okay, you going to go with me or you want to go with
Hmm.
Satan? He
That's
said, you
right.
want to go in light or you want to go in darkness? So if
Yes.
God can guide us, he got the power to control us, don't get me wrong. But he
That's
even
right.
gives
Mhm.
us a choice and he guides us. And long as
Yes,
you
he
let
does.
God guide you, you in for the greatest ride of
Come
your
on.
life, ladies. You
Yes,
in
Yes.
for the
and he
greatest ride.
loves on you that much more when you choose him
Mm-mm-mm.
first.
Yes, when you
Jesus.
choose him first. When you choose him first. And I tell you what, I tell people this all the time. Do you want to be great? If you want to
Mm.
be great, that's have nothing to do with profession. Great is out there. What you gonna do for that sister you see got that black eye? What you gonna
Jesus.
go out there and do for that woman who don't have a place to stay with her and her kids? What you gonna do with somebody you know needs your coaching program, and even though it might be $5,000, can you tell one person, okay, I got you this time?
Come on.
Can you say,
Come
okay,
on.
it's not about the money this time, it's about the heart?
Yeah.
Jesus.
And when you do things from the heart, you open yourself up to a blessing of multiple and abundantly in a way that he will
Yes.
overflow your
Listen.
house. He will
Yes.
overflow your table. He will overflow your bank account. He will overflow
Speak
your
it.
whole world, your life around you, your
Speak it
kids, and leave a
Yes, he
legacy
will.
that you never thought
for
you would leave before your
generations.
life.
That's right. So true. It's a law. People don't get it. Those that see you sowing seeds every single day. You sowing seeds. And like Tanya said, for generations, if you change one woman's life, guess what? She got a daughter, her life changed. Her daughter has a daughter or a son, their life is changed. So you
Yes.
right, you a seed sower. And God said that he gives to people who sow seed. So he's always gonna give it to you because he can trust you with it.
Yes.
Yes.
That's what he
Yes.
wants to know. Can I trust you? He said, I
Can I
give
trust you?
seed to the sower. So he keep
Yes.
giving you women. He keep
Yes.
bringing people in your past because you proven yourself trustworthy. Come
Yes.
on. You want to be
Yes.
concerned about what everybody else thinks. What do he think about
What
you?
do God think? Just think
Yes.
about if
That's
I would
right.
have still been listening to what that
Ultimately.
teacher said. Or what my credit said, girl, you don't cause that memory to your, you don't cause that injury to your brain. Now stop trying to worry about writing a book and stop trying to worry about speaking. Suppose I would have listened to them
Hmm.
instead
Mm-hmm.
of listening to what God said, instead of
Yes.
following my visions. I wouldn't
That's
be
it.
this best-selling author right now 18
Right.
times. I wouldn't be
Right.
this international motivational speaker. I wouldn't be this breakthrough catalyst helping every woman I
Come
can to break
on.
those
Yes,
chains off
ma'am.
violence and
Look at
abuse.
God. Look
If
at
I would have
God.
listened to
Look
other
at God.
people, learn to listen to your father. That is your main
Jesus.
daddy.
That's your daddy. And that and
That's
that
it.
and that's the detour that I took was I was listening to what a man said
Yeah.
I
I've
was.
been there.
The labels that he gave me. I
Yeah.
Yes.
listened to that and counted that true. And I
Yes.
let my company define me. And my first
Yes.
company became my God. And so
Yeah.
when I hear you talk, the minute we put those things down and cleave unto him and chase after
Yes.
him, the skies open up. Your
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
life, your world is totally different. The minute you said, I'm walking away and I'm taking my children and life will be better
Yeah.
because that was a courageous leap
Mm-hmm.
of faith.
Yeah.
Look at
Yes.
what God has done.
Yeah.
Look at what God has done. Had
Yeah.
I stayed
Amen.
listening to that, I would have been already physically broken,
Mm,
mentally broken, because
mm.
he told me I was worthless. So mentally, physically, self-esteem, everything. Had I not left that,
Yeah.
nothing that I have.
That's it.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
he told me the same thing. Kids now, no other man wants you. You're nothing. You are no. You leave me with fall on your face. And for a while, I thought God
Yeah.
was gonna make it without him. And you know what? But God.
But
Yes,
God. But
yes.
God. But God. So good.
Came in my head when I was out there and I was like making the decision. I'm ready to go get that U-Haul. Only thing kept coming to me was just but God.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
The word be in God.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I
Yeah.
was saying, that's all I need.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling my baby. I was like, that's all we need, babies. We just need God. And I took
Mm-hmm.
that little income tax check I had got that year and I hauled.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
I never looked back. I
Yes.
never looked
Right.
back.
Girl,
That
I sprained my
decision.
ankle leaving. I was trying to leave so fast. I sprained my ankle leaving the house.
Oh
Sprained
Lord.
my, I
Yeah,
got
Oh
to go.
God love me. Love my kids.
yeah.
Cherish me and adore me and don't beat me, but tell me. Look, it got so bad, y'all. You know how balanced relationship for so long. When me had a little slight argument, I was ready to fight. He was had to hold my hands down. I'm not that type of man. We
Mm.
having a little disagreement, baby. You need to go get some help. I'm right here for you.
Yes.
This
Come on. Come on. God restored that. A whole husband. Okay? So come
yeah,
on. That
That
loves you
love
unconditionally.
and my kids are for this man.
Mm.
Just like that.
Mm-hmm.
When I was 6 months with my
Wow.
child and my own and the only until this started talking more back to her father after he spent his 15 years in jail. I
Mm.
come back into her life. But
Mm.
all I ever knew was my husband.
Wow.
And he never
God is
and
mm.
my kids. That's why I listen to need me. It's
breaking up,
over for you.
Nicole.
You're breaking up.
Can you hear me now?
Say
Say something.
something.
Hello?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
After
Yes.
he told me for years, you leave me, I stayed in there for years because I thought if I left him, I was gonna fall. What I was gonna do, go into a shelter. You know, you don't want to go back to your parents' house. You don't want to
Yeah.
go back and stay in some of your sisters and brothers' house. Sometimes your family, Lord have mercy. You rather just stay where you at and go through what you're going through than to go
Yeah.
and live with some of them. Don't get me wrong, I have some amazing family members, but
Yeah.
I just didn't want to be uh burden on any of them. So I took
Mm-hmm.
the list to make sure my kids still had a bedroom or their nice house, and just make sure I took that. But once
Yeah.
I said this it, that it was over. And it's nothing
Yeah.
you can do to a woman that's ready to leave. Once her
Listen,
mind is made up,
it's
that's it.
over.
It's
It's
over.
over. It's
It's
over.
over.
And what I love about your whole story is that you didn't paint a picture like, you know what? I left and then, I got this job making $80,000. No, you said, listen, sometimes it looked like, this is what I love about God. It may look like in the natural, you're backtracking a little bit, right? But in the spiritual realm, I remember one time he said, Boo, you're rich. And I was looking around like this, where's that? And he was like, no, you're rich in spirit. Because what happens sometimes is, God allows that to happen. What he did was he taught you who you were, your value, then he added back the stuff. So we want to let everybody know, listen, we're not selling. Her story is so vulnerable and so transparent because she like, I had it. And then listen, I had to go back to welfare and all of that. But the
I had to go
kicker
back to
is,
every assistant you can think of.
come
From
on,
every assistant. From Section 8 to welfare to Medicaid to food stamps.
Jesus.
I went back to it all. But long as I went back with that man.
Honey, as long as you didn't lose that belief, okay? Because while you was getting the food stamps and all that, the key, not to natural life, but the Bible says you can't even please God without faith. So even in the midst of that, you have faith. I'm
I
here
had
today,
faith.
but it
I
ain't
had
always
faith.
gonna be like this. Come on, come
Yes.
on, and look at
Yes.
where you at now,
Yes.
man. I'm encouraged. I'm encouraged.
No, right?
Thank you.
Times 10. And we know you're blessed with a beautiful mother. You have a celebration this evening. So
Yes,
Yes.
we're gonna let you get to that because us three, we'll sit here and
honey.
talk.
I know.
Listen. I
I can't
know.
wait till COVID is over and we all can be at a conference together. I'm gonna be looking for you too. I can't
Yes,
wait to see you all speak. As Ashley, I
I
already
can't
asked
wait.
Tanya to be on my media summit, to be one of
Yes.
my speakers for my media summit as well. I'm
It's
looking
gonna be
forward to it,
awesome.
and I thank y'all for having me on here. Y'all are so amazing, and I
Oh,
just
you
Oh,
love
are.
coming and being in the room with y'all. You know, have you ever
Mm,
just been an invitation? You've been in a room with people, you feel like a certain type of way. Y'all
yeah.
yeah.
make me feel loved, make me feel
Oh,
comfortable, and
Wow.
let me be myself. I don't have to put on
yes.
this image because I'm not gonna put on their image. They might well just count me out of their team or count me out of
Right.
That's it.
that clique,
That's it.
whatever. Because I'm not gonna be in nothing that is not real. And I
Yes.
just want to say
Amen.
thank you all. God
Thank
bless you
you.
all,
Thank
and
you.
keep believing and have that mustard seed of faith.
Yeah,
Yes.
you live close by though, so you can help us along. You
Yes.
know, because you are a pusher and an encourager.
Amazing.
It just
Yes.
comes
Yes.
out your pores. So
Thank
Mm,
I'm
you.
never going to be more than a phone call away from Dr. Nichole. I'm
that's
telling
right.
you.
And the
Amazing.
same here. The same here.
Yes.
Mhm.
Thank you
Give
so
mama a big
much.
Thank you so
Yes,
much.
tell her thank you, your kids for helping letting us borrow you for a little while. We know it was a sacrifice tonight, but it was something again that you do.
It was
It's
worth
another
it.
seed. It's another seed that you've sown in Tanya and I's my life, and as well as all our viewers.
everyone.
Thank you for your yes. Thank you for not giving up. And thank you for reminding us how important it is, no matter where we find ourselves, to keep believing. We
Yeah.
appreciate you.
Amen. Amen. I appreciate you all and thank you
Amen.
all. Bye bye.
You too.
Bye.
Take care.
Oh, that was amazing.